The Little Rascals television show became popular because it featured a group of adorable and talented child actors. It was created in the 1920s and continued in the 1930s, making it one of the earliest successful TV shows. Viewers loved watching the antics of these mischievous kids as they got into all sorts of funny situations. The kids' innocence and genuine performances charmed audiences of all ages. Moreover, The Little Rascals introduced some groundbreaking ideas at the time. It was one of the first shows to have a racially integrated cast, which was a significant step in promoting diversity and inclusion on screen. Have you ever been curious about what happened to the kids who acted in The Little Rascals, both on TV and in the movie? Well, now you don't have to wonder anymore. Let's take a look at how they looked back then and how they look now. Come on, let's go for a search. But before you begin, please remember to press the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and show your support by liking and sharing the video. Having said that, let's start. Buckwheat Billy Thomas. William Thomas Jr. was born in Los Angeles on March 12, 1931. He made his first appearances in the show in 1934, initially in the background. The character Buckwheat was originally a girl played by Matthew Stymie Beard's younger sister, Carlina, but gradually transformed into a boy. Initially, Thomas depicted Buckwheat as a girl with a speech problem, dressed in traditional African American clothes of the time, including pigtails, a large hand-me-down sweater, and big boots. Over time, this portrayal sparked controversy. After leaving the show, Thomas joined the U.S. Army at 23. He got medals for his service, and instead of acting, he worked as a film lab tech. Sadly, he passed away from a heart attack in his Los Angeles apartment on October 10, 1980, 46 years after his first audition at Hal Roach Studios. Spanky George McFarland. George McFarland, born in Dallas on October 2, 1928, started as a child model in Dallas posing for children's clothes and becoming famous for Wonder Bread ads. His journey into acting began when his Aunt Dottie sent his picture to Hal Roach Studios, leading to his role as Spanky. His mother's warning not to misbehave gave him the nickname Spanky. In the series, he was the president of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. At the age of 24, McFarland left the entertainment industry and joined the United States Air Force. He, like William Thomas, couldn't escape the Spanky image and worked various jobs at places like a soft drink factory, a hamburger stand, and a popsicle factory. McFarland loved sharing stories about his time on The Little Rascals, which is another not-so-popular name of the show. His last TV appearance was in 1993, and sadly, he passed away in June of that year from a heart attack at the age of 64. In January 1994, he was posthumously honored with the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Stymie Matthew Beard. Matthew Beard Jr. was born on January 1, 1925 in Los Angeles. He became famous as Stymie in the show. Stymie was known for his bald head and oversized derby hat, a gift from comedian Stan Laurel. After leaving Our Gang at age 10, he appeared in a few minor roles in films like Captain Blood in the year 1935 and The Return of Frank James, which is in 1940, with fellow child star Jackie Cooper. He retired from acting during high school. Beard faced a tough time when he got addicted to heroin. Fortunately, he managed to recover and even made appearances on TV shows like Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, and Good Times as Monty. In 1978, he was in the Buddy Holly story, still wearing his signature bowler hat. He stayed clean and spoke about drug issues, but sadly he had a stroke on January 3, 1981, fell downstairs, and passed away from pneumonia at 56. He was buried with his iconic derby hat from his Stymie days. Time for another character to be introduced. Froggy Laughlin. Billy. William Robert Laughlin was born in 1932 in California, became famous as a child actor at just 8 years old, and when he joined the cast, it was in 1940. His character Froggy was known for his unique frog-like voice, which he did himself. After the show ended in 1944, Laughlin briefly appeared in a film called Johnny Doesn't Live Here Anymore, before deciding to step away from showbiz and enjoy his teenage years. Unfortunately, the actor was tragically hit by a speeding truck while delivering newspapers on his friend's scooter. This happened on August 31, 1948, just 2 weeks after his parents gave him the scooter. Sadly, he became the youngest Our Gang actor to lose his life. Porky Eugene Lee. Eugene Lee, a Texas native born on October 25, 1933, rose to fame as a child actor in California after being identified as Spanky McFarland from the television soap opera. He was nicknamed Porky and played Spanky's little brother, however he grew too fast, so they replaced him with Robert Blake in 1939. Lee decided to stop working as an actor and started teaching at a special school in Colorado called Broomfield High School. To make a fresh start away from acting, he chose a new name, Gordon Lee, inspired by his favorite director from the Our Gang series, Gordon Douglas. Sadly, on October 16, 2005, when he was 71 years old, he passed away due to lung and brain cancer. Mickey Daniels, aka Mickey Algebra. In the 1930s Hal Roach television series, Mickey Daniels was a well-liked young character. Between 1932 and 1935, he appeared in between 70 and 80 of them. It's interesting to note that he earned $37 a week when he began, but by the time he left the show, he was making $175 a week, which was a pretty good amount of money for those days. But fortune decided something else for the character. Sadly, Daniels' career didn't go well after the show. He got married and divorced and had a daughter. However, he passed away alone in a hotel room in 1970 while working as a taxi driver. Doggy Petey. Pal, a perceptive American Pit Bull Terrier, served as the first Petey. In the 1920s, he made his debut as Tigay in the Buster Brown series. Someone had drawn a circle around his eye at that moment, making him stand out. He joined this series that year, and they continued with the circle, making him a cinematic star. Sadly, in 1930, Pal was poisoned and died. His puppies took over as Petey's, and the eye circle moved to the left eye. Lucine, who owned the dog, began a new adventure in Atlantic City after finishing the program. The dog was 16 years old when it passed away, which is the same age as Billy Froggy Laughlin was when he passed away on January 28, 1946. In the 1994 cinematic revival of The Little Rascals, the iconic character Petey finds a spirited betrayal by an American bulldog. Moving on to the next character, Darla Hood. Darla Hood was born on November 8, 1931 in Leedy, Oklahoma. When she was very young, her mom encouraged her to sing and dance. On her third birthday, they went to New York with hopes of becoming famous artists. A casting director named Joe Rivkin noticed her talent and gave her the role of Darla in the Our Gang's movies. Darla is best known for being cute and charming, and many characters like Alfalfa, Butch, and Waldo had a crush on her. After leaving the Little Rascals, Hood went to high school and formed a singing group called the Enchanters. She had her final movie role as a secretary in The Bat in 1959, alongside Vincent Price and Agnes Moorehead. Despite growing up, she remained connected to the Little Rascals. In 1980, while organizing a reunion for them, she sadly passed away from heart failure at the age of 47. Dorothy DeBorba. Dorothy DeBorba became part of the Our Gang cast back in 1930 when they made Pups as Pups. People mostly remember her for her fancy hairstyles and big bows in the show, but she's also famous for being playful and good at copying what other characters said in a funny way. That's why everyone called her Echo. DeBorba stopped working on the series in 1933 after being in 24 movies. She finished high school and got a job as a clerk, and she had 2 kids and unfortunately passed away from emphysema in 2010. As Alfalfa, Brandon Bug Hall. Brandon Hall, also known as Bug because his parents called him that, was born on February 4, 1985 in Fort Worth, Texas. He's most famous for playing Alfalfa in a movie called The Little Rascals in 1994, and he even won an award for it. After that, he kept getting recognized for his acting. In 1996, he was nominated for another award for his role as Eddie Munster in the TV show called The Munsters' Scary Little Christmas. He also has been in some Disney movies like Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves and Get a Clue. In 2017, he got married to Jill DeGroff, and they had a daughter named Josephine Joy. And last but not least, we have Ross Bagley as Buckwheat. Ross Elliott Bagley was born on December 5, 1988 in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. In the 1994 movie The Little Rascals, Bagley played the character Buckwheat. To get that role, he probably had to say "Ote" really well, but we don't know the exact audition details. His most famous role was as Nicholas Nicky Banks, who is Will Smith's cousin on the TV show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air from 1994 to 1996. He worked with Will Smith again in the movie Independence Day in 1996, playing his son Dylan. And that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell, because trust me, you don't want to miss out on the exciting content that's just around the corner. This is your host signing off, wishing you all an awesome day. Stay tuned.